What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I know we've been a little bit busy as of late with the Pro Bass shootouts. Hopefully you've been enjoying that. We've been working really hard on that. But okay, so you guys have asked for it. We did the April edition of what's going in my boat. Today I'm going to do the May edition, okay? So what am I going to pick out of all these lures? So hopefully you can learn a few things. Let's dive into it. Okay, so the plan is very simple. To put the tackle that I'm going to put in this boat on this deck right here, so you guys can tell how much tackle I actually bring. I don't know if we could all fit, because May is like the transition time of year. Like, I know that April is sort of like they're transitioning from like pre-spawn to spawn in a lot of the country. Right now, it is more spawn, post-spawn. Some fish are still pre-spawn. You got multiple different waves coming in. You got the full moon that just happened here recently, and more fish are pulling up, and we sort of got a little bit of funky weather going on. I don't know about where you live, but some cold weather in May can sometimes be a little bit of a question mark, like what's gonna happen. But it looks like in the further into May, middle of May to late May, on the extended forecast, it's gonna get pretty hot down here in the south. I would assume the Midwest, you guys have a lot of stuff going on as well. But here, real quick here, we're gonna pick up a few things that I think are gonna be huge. Okay, number one is my spinnerbait box right here. I got a whole bunch of spinnerbaits in here. These are all the accent spinnerbaits, but specifically, I'll grab it out real quick here. This is sort of how I store them, this big box. Specifically, the 3-blade, because the shad are gonna be spawning all over the country in the month of May, seems like, if they aren't already spawning where you're at. This is the 1 ounce. I got some 3/4, some halves, and that's just more blades equal more shad. You know, you look like you're trying to really show a shad spawn is basically when the shad get together in a lot of big balls, and they're trying to actually throw their eggs up on something. Normally it's on something wood or rock or boat dock, something like that. And this is basically what that is trying to replicate. So the more blades tend to work better for me. If the water's a little bit dirtier, I'll put a little gold blade in the middle right there, but that is definitely going to be in the box. And I have a whole bunch of different skirt colors, so if the water color changes, I can just instantly change that. Spinnerbait is definitely, that's that little accent spinnerbait, by the way. Grab some jerk baits, because jerk baits, I got some big jerk baits, some medium jerk baits, some deep jerk baits. Jerk baits are a great shad spawn lure as well. Some shadow wrap deeps. So that's the jerk bait boxes. That's a good in-between lure. When the fish are post-spawn, don't put your jerk baits up in the post-spawn. They bite jerk baits all year long, so just remember that. Okay, let's see here. I'm thinking. I'm not gonna get to that yet. I'll get to that later. I'll get to this later. But let's go over here to the plastics. Terminal tackle up top. Let's go ahead and dig into the terminal tackle first. Let's go right here. I've got my drop shot Nico box. This is gonna be really handy if the fish are up shallow or out deep in that transition. So I definitely need that. It's sort of my all-in-one. This is the bladed swim bait box. Got a whole bunch of different bladed swim bait heads, swim bait. I think a swim bait's gonna be a major player. Underspin box. These are a little bit smaller. I'm not gonna take him. The little baits box, a grass jig. Of course, gotta have the Tokyo box in there and Tokyo rigs. It's gonna be a deal that works in between shallow and, of course, offshore. More on that in another video, but gotta throw that one in there. Okay, just typical weight. All right, tournaments are gonna get back in session. So what is this? You've seen it before. The shrink tubing box. This is what I bring in the boat to basically, I don't catch the fish in practice. Yes, that's right. We sometimes don't wanna catch them, and that's what we're gonna put in there, just to help that. A Ned rig box. I don't know if I wanna bring him, but I'm gonna bring him. A Carolina rig box. Gonna throw him in there. Finesse swim bait head box. Yep. Jig heads. Go ahead. Little swim bait jig heads. Worm blades. Not feeling him right now. Slider heads, finesse. I'm not gonna mess with him either. That's just a random box. Got a random glide right there. Big weights. I don't know if the big weight. If you got some mats in your area, I don't know if I'm gonna experience the big weights. We don't have a lot of matted vegetation right here right now, so I'm gonna leave this one at home for right now. But if you have some trash mat, with the water coming up, you got some trash mats in your area, you might want to bring those big weights to where you can punch those mats. Blade baits, this is more typically a late in the year kind of deal. Jigging spoons, small jigging spoons, nah. All right, I think we're good. Okay, so that's gonna be it right here for the majority of my terminal tackle. I'll have my hooks as well, but I think I should be good on there. Next, soft plastics. Okay, we're gonna have a lot of soft plastics because we're gonna need a lot of different profiles. I got fluke style baits right here. So we're definitely gonna add that because for scroungers and just for like a shad spawn. Swim baits, like maybe a mag draft, a little bit bigger swim bait. Oh, Guggen swim baits, some saucy swim baits for sure for trailers. 6-inch lunker logs. If I want to fish it offshore a little bit, like sometimes I like to throw a 6-inch lunker log in brush piles. It's actually one of my favorites. Bigger tricks, trench hogs, some hand poured worms, slim shakes, some more hand pours, clear water. No, oh, okay. The Mondo worms. Time to bring it out. It's getting that time of year. Post spawn when it gets hot. Now it might be a little bit early for it in most of the country, but I'm gonna have them in the boat. I know it's about like 100 pounds of stuff already. Okay. Punch baits. Think. All right. So since it is going to be, since there is a shad spawn bite probably going down, I'm gonna have my swim jig trailer. So swim jigs are a great bait to throw during the shad spawn. So I got a whole bunch of different craws, different colors. But a swim jig is definitely a good one to add to the arsenal. Don't really need that flipping bait. Nope. Cracking craws for my football jig, fish, some toads. Man, it's getting a little heavy. Of course, you gotta get the bandito bugs. Magic shads, some rattling nets, some dragon drops. All right, definitely need those. That should be about it. Okay, some 5-inch lunker logs. Last. That should be about it for my soft plastics. So we got quite a bit of soft plastics this month. This is with the fish spawning and the fish. Oh, wait, one more. We got the hook box and don't forget the bed fishing box. So with the late spawners happening, I got to keep that in there. So I got hook box. I don't even know if this is all going to fit my boat. This is when my boat is like, I know you all said the last one was probably the most full boat you've seen, but this one's gonna be even worse. I'm gonna have to like move stuff. All right, so that is it for just the soft plastics and terminal tackle. Now it's on to offshore because offshore, May is when the fish start to get offshore in most of the country. Late May especially, so I'm sort of prepping. That's sort of like the beginning of May, some of the shad spawn and all that. Late May is gonna be offshore month. So football jigs, definitely gonna have to have that. Big giant profile crankbaits, big square bills, DT16s, 14s, some more crankbaits. I don't need him. DT20s, some DT10s, DT6s. Okay, I think, hold on. All right, hold up. Got some plugs. Okay, I don't know if I really, you know what? I don't even know if I want to bring it. Nah, I'm not bringing it. I mean, I guess I could. All right, I'm bringing it all. Some more plugs. Crankbait. So I got crankbaits that run 10 feet deep. I got crankbaits that run 12 feet deep, 14 feet deep, 16 foot deep, all the way to 25 and 30 feet deep. Right there. That's a lot of crankbaits. I don't even know. I might have to do some culling, but that is literally what I'm getting into. Like I said, this is gonna be a little crazy. All right, got those. All right, we got a treble hook box right here. Some swim baits. I don't know if I'm gonna do line throughs. Hair jigs, flutter spoons. Those right there. I'm getting it all ready to go. Yep, I'm gonna need the glide baits. Definitely gonna need the glide baits still. All right, Brody, I'm getting your stupid tube. Your tube's out. Gotta bring that for Brody. Jigs, just like regular jigs. Chatterbaits, swim jigs, Largo shads. All right, so we got a little more to go. So back up just a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I know it's sort of like crazy, but I get to where I'm like, okay, this is another spinnerbait box. So I gotta add him to it. So I don't know what spinnerbaits I exactly have in there. I don't know if I need this DT6 bulk box. All right, so those are like cover pops and old school P70s. Top one of mine. That is probably my, hold up real quick here. This is probably like one of my favorite boxes this time of year. So there's a lot of post spawners and there's a lot of fry garters. Well, this bait right here has obviously caught me a lot of fish. You can tell. It's an old baby bass popper. And now recently, in the last few years, Storm came out with this little Arashi cover pop, and this dude is the easiest thing to walk in a popping bait. So definitely one. Basically, I throw this most of the time. I just have these because I've always caught them on them. So that's a really, really, really good bait to be roll casting around boat docks this time of year, catching spawners, post spawners, fry garters. You gotta have the big poppers. Dude, I got too much stuff. All right, got some walking baits, add those. I do not need that big giant box of ploppers. All right, I'm gonna bag the popping frogs, okay? Because there's not really a whole lot of matted vegetation, so it's gonna be more like open water, or like willow grass. Okay, skitter props and skitter pops. The skitter pop now, this little dude right here is one of my favorite little shad spawn baits. When they're on seawalls, little chrome dude, water's a little clean. That's the deal. So the bigger poppers are great. Like the cover pop is great for like around the pockets. Like it's almost like imitating a bluegill. The smaller poppers, like this one right here, the skitter pop, it's imitating like a shad or smaller bait fish. And so like those fish that are on the shad spawn, this is a great bait to throw. And I can't even tell you about the skitter prop. That sucker, he's pretty solid too. I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff. I've been collecting junk for a long time. All right. I'm almost done, I swear. It's almost it. All right, I think I'm calling it quits. So my last 3 boxes, I got some BX Brat, some Arashi Square 3s, and some lipless crankbaits. And that's a good shad spawn bait too, over grass sometimes. So this right here is all going in the boat. Let's see if we can do it. I'll put that in the back. Put this in the back. Put that in the back. Swim baits, put this in the back. All right, so that is it. We did it. We have a few more boxes right here, but those will all go in the back. There's about 5 or 6 boxes. I think I can hold 7 back there. So a boat full of tackle. We have officially accomplished the I don't know about that. Unaccomplishable? No. We have officially accomplished putting all this tackle on the boat. And this is the thing. This is not my tournament load. I mean, this is my practice load, but I normally take a lot of my tackle out. The only thing we did today is basically got this boat to go about 30 miles an hour slower for top speed. So we're gonna try to sort of consolidate and figure it out throughout the deal. But if I was packing for May, and that's all I could fish with was in my boat, this is what we were packing for. A lot of things are changing. Post-spawn, spawn, some of y'all are dealing with the pre-spawn. Hopefully you all are catching a few fish. We're gonna get back to fishing tournaments here very soon. Hopefully y'all stay safe, and we'll see y'all next time.